Hey, it's Natalie, and welcome to the Hey Let's Collab podcast. This is a podcast about how successful creators grow through collaboration. Every episode, we unpack one specific partnership from the first pitch to the final result. This gives you the full blueprint on how to collaborate with confidence and grow your business through aligned connections. Ready to get started? You'll love this week's collaboration. So you want to run a collaboration, or maybe you have been invited to participate in one and you're feeling stressed about it, right? There's so many things that can go wrong. Heck, Mercury could be in retrograde and technology can stop working. It's a thing. Seriously, every time AWS crashes, Mercury is in retrograde. So let's talk about how we can avoid tech fails and being disorganized and all the other bazillion things that can go wrong, from sending the wrong link to showing up at the wrong time. All right, y'all. So let's go around the room and just share, to kick things off, what's one thing that you do to ensure that every collaboration you're a part of runs smoothly? Anna, how about you start us off?
Absolutely. Oh gosh. So the very first thing I do is I put all of the dates on my content calendar. So I'm an email marketer. Email is my primary channel. So I have a content calendar with all of the emails I'm sending. That's the first place that everything goes on. As soon as I know the dates, they are on there. And because without that, you get mired in the details. You get, busy with your everyday emails, and then those deadlines can really sneak up on you, and then you realize, oh crap, I'm supposed to send a solo email about this bundle, or I'm supposed to tell my people about the summit and it's tomorrow, and then you scramble. So I like to avoid that. So everything goes on my content calendar right near my most important piece of content that I produce.
I love that. Added to a calendar. Rachel, what you got as your number one way to ensure collaborations run smoothly?
Yeah, so I used to use Google Sheets, but I recently discovered Airtable and absolutely love it. I really like that I can add like all the details of each of the collabs, but then there's also like a calendar view and a Kanban view, and it's really nice because you can really see them. And then also I can connect it to shareables and send it in my emails when they're live.
Love that. Okay, you said Airtable, and my mind thought Liz Stapleton.
Yes, I was like hand clapping over here. So yeah, I absolutely do use Airtable to help me stay organized, whether I'm the host or participating. So when I'm participating, I have an Airtable base that I call my Visibility Ops Hub, where I log everything I've applied to, everything I'm accepted to. Basically, anything that's in the application gets put into the Airtable record. So I'm not wondering, what did I submit? Or what was the description I used? And plus, then it's easy to reuse things later. And so everything gets logged in there, including like what the promo requirements are going to be. When is the deadline that I'm going to find out if I got accepted or not, and so on. And so I utilize that when I'm planning out my monthly emails, which is primarily how I promote. I'm slowly getting better at social, but emails where I primarily promote. And so I go in and I plan out my emails for the month and all the promotions I need to do. And I do, I think I don't quite do it the same way she does, but it's really well known, that Dama's 4x4 footers, if you guys have heard of those. And so I have Airtable dynamically up with Kit MCP, and I think it's Codex, dynamically update my footers so that it's always showing whatever is live at the time when my emails go out.
I would like to introduce y'all to the wonderful Kara Laws of Launched. You are a sponsor of my bundle, and you're incredible.
Thank you. Okay, so my number one is that I don't have final approval of anything, because nobody finds your mistakes like other people. And you think that you did it right, and you're sure that you put the link in, and you read it 1,000 times, so you can't see typos anymore. So I do not have final approval. I have to send it to my team, or when I didn't have a team, I was like, dear husband or mother dear or somebody else, read this and click all the things and do the process, because when we created it, it's really hard to find our own mistakes. And everyone else is like, that's not even a sentence.
I can't see typos. I literally
Either.
can't. I can't see them. Like, unless this is why I need like Grammarly to be like highlighting things, and like I need it to like pop up and be like, girl, fix your mistake. Cause I just can't see them, and I need to work on that. But these are really great tips. Does anyone have anything else to add when it comes to, like, I would love to know if you have, like, do you check in? Because I think, we all mentioned the importance of having the calendar. Do you have it send you notifications? Is it part of your weekly routine to be like, okay, what's on the docket for this week? I'm just curious as to how you're using those calendars to keep you on track.
So I have a morning debrief that AI pulls together for me that tells me things like if there's any customer support tickets that I need to take care of and any events ongoing that I'm part of. Like, chances are I've scheduled my promo, but I can go and just make sure everything's working and, check that stuff's going well. And if I'm going to like do a social post or something, because that's usually more off the fly for me. So yeah, I kind of have all the different calendars from all my Airtable bases and all the things going on put into a report each day so that I can see what's going on and I can check in and make sure everything's going smoothly.
Okay, I know we're just at the start, but Liz, I feel like this is where you should tell us a little bit about you, because when it comes to Airtable and just being on top of stuff, I think of you. So introduce yourself.
Sure. So I'm Liz Stapleton and I run multiple brands, but I think the main one in terms of collaboration that I'm known for is my Creator Ops Hub, formerly Blogger Breakthrough, where I ran a summit with 50 plus speakers every year solo by myself. I'm still solo. I don't want to manage a team. Managing AI is plenty for me. But yeah, so I focus on systems and organization and automation because I am digitally disorganized. Thank goodness for automations. That's how I stay on top of things and building out new systems. So that's really kind of where I focus.
Yes, you are so excellent at it. So connect with Liz if y'all need help with that. Okay, what about the rest of you? How are you using this calendar? Because I think some people listening might be like, yeah, I wrote it down, but I still forget. Or I'm worried something will fall through the cracks.
So one of the things that I've learned is that some people are Airtable people and I am a Notion person. And I feel like those are two very different types of brain things. So I could definitely talk about what I have built. I've built a dashboard in Notion that pulls like all of the information from different databases across my Notion workspace on one page. And it's the one page that always stays open. I'm looking at it every single day and throughout the day to keep track of what I need to be doing. It pops up any deadlines. It tells me what the next content that I need to create is. And actually, Kara, I was really interested to hear that you hand off the checking to somebody else. I feel like I'm going to have to do that because I also cannot catch my own mistakes because I think obviously I am perfect and I did everything correctly, right?
You do. You are perfection.
And then when I get the email in my inbox, I'm like, wait a minute. That's not right. So yes, I think I will definitely think about who I can volunteer to help me with this. But yeah, my whole thing is being able to see everything in one go. That's how my brain works best. And that's why I kind of settled on Notion. I've tried other tools, and it's not to say that the tool is everything, but for me, being able to see what content is going out every single day. I don't usually email every single day. I email mostly 3 times a week, but I like to prep them ahead in advance. I don't like to panic right on the same day that they're going out. That's how those mistakes usually happen. But yeah, I look at it every single day and just make sure that the content that is going out later this week is content that I've already scheduled, set up, double checked as best to my ability. Maybe at some point in the future, I'll have somebody do that for me, but that's how I do it.
Yeah. It's funny though, like for myself, I'm not a see the full picture every day type of person. I've noticed that maybe it's a flaw, maybe it's a superpower, I don't know, but like I say I can only care about 2 things at once. And as long as I do, of course, know big picture things that are coming down the line. But like if I'm, for example, working on my bundle, I'm working on my bundle. If I'm working on my podcast launch, I'm working on my podcast launch. And I have my list of tasks for that thing. And I can't even, it's like the other stuff doesn't even exist. But fatal flaw, perhaps.
I don't think so. I wish I had that. I wish I could only focus on 1 or 2 things at a time. But yeah, that does not happen. My brain just doesn't work that way. So, I have to try and deal with it.
Yeah.
And I use my Google Calendar a little bit different. Like I live and die by my calendar, but when I'm doing a collaboration, we have a collaboration calendar that we invite everyone to. So all of my deadlines and all the times I need their stuff, because nobody gives it to you. That's half the job is like, I still need your headshot. And all of that goes onto their calendar as well. And I really like that because the people who are calendar people twitch a little bit because it's on their calendar and they remember to do it. So like, I don't use it to track my stuff as well. Like I know that it's there, but I use it to help reinforce that y'all have to give me your crap. And then that works out just a little bit better for like, a quarter of the people.
Yeah, I feel like I remember doing that for when I would host my summit. Like there's the reminder that this is the day your video is due. And then Google Calendar would block me though, because they were like, you are inviting too many people to these calendar events. And I would do that for my joint webinars. Like Liz, you've probably gotten that email from me once where it's like, send testimonial to Natalie. Like this is the link to the the event link is the like form that I need to like fill out with the details.
Because I'm not a calendar person. Like if there's like more than 3 things on my calendar for a day, I'm like, ugh. And I mean, like they could be like hours apart. Like I'm just not a calendar person. And so I always do reminder emails that I automate. And so I'm just curious if you guys have found one works better than the other.
Like you email yourself?
No, I automate following up with people of like, you haven't submitted this.
Yes.
And it sends them an email as opposed, or I do hey, just a reminder, sessions are due in a week. Or hey, reminder, we haven't received your session, it's due tomorrow. Like those emails get automated because I'm not a calendar person. So I never really think to like, I think I've tried a calendar like once, but I was like, I don't even look at it. So I don't, how can I expect them to?
I do.
I'm not on your
It
level.
has the calendar with all the things and then the emails too, because you're going to miss people no matter which system you try. Because then you have calendar people and not calendar people and email people and other people who didn't check their email for 17 days. And so like, I got to do both.
I have a question. Raise your hand if you're a 0 inbox person. Or do you have like a lot? Okay, never mind.
I don't delete anything. I mean,
No,
I
I
get
mean,
to
like,
like a
zero
unread
on your
zero. Yes, I get
unread
to that.
zero.
That's
Yeah,
regular.
like-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
just
I
curious.
don't like clear out. I only actually go through and do the responding maybe once or twice a week though. I like set aside like 1 day a week where I really sit down and respond to everything because I've got all these automations that are like, okay, I know that needs a response or that doesn't, and I can look at it in my own time. I use the Google Workspace Studio for flows that will like route your emails so that you know what you have to deal with.
Yeah, I'm a fan of, I use Mac Mail and I just have all my email addresses in there. And there's a lot of automations. If like this word is in the email, it goes into this folder and it just clears out the inbox a little bit. And I always have that one folder that's just like collaborations. Yeah. So anytime I'm like, wait, I have that event. What was that email again? I just go to that folder because I know all the details are in there.
Yeah, Mac is pretty good. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, my email software allows me to create a permalink to an email. So whenever I get an email from one of you wonderful people hosting bundles and summits, I will create a permalink and put it on my Notion dashboard with the rest of the information for the event. So that way I don't have to hunt for the email because my inbox is a black hole. I hate going in there. I know this sounds really weird because I'm an email person and I love talking to people with email, like through email, but I don't enjoy checking my email. and sorting it and figuring out what things go where. So yeah, that's how I do it. I set up permalinks.
Hey, pausing the episode because I really wanted to tell you about my collab starter kit. It has everything you need to start collaborating, even if you've never done it before and don't feel expert enough. With a step-by-step guide, outreach templates, tracker, and more, the kit takes you from I know I should be collaborating to I'm ready to send my first pitch. It's available at heyletscollab.com for $36, but if you sign up for my free collab scripts, you'll unlock a special discount. Link in the show notes if you're ready to start collaborating with confidence. Anna, tell us a little bit about you, more about what you do.
Yeah, sure. So I am Anna Crosby. I am an email marketing strategist. I help people create connection and community with email. So I teach people how to break away from a newsletter-based email marketing model and instead focus on having conversations. So that's kind of my big thing. I love talking to people in email, like I said. Just not checking my personal email, which feels weird. But anyway, so that's what I do.
Yeah, I love that. And do not reach out to Anna asking for inbox organization tips.
Yes, do not. If you need help writing your marketing emails, if you need help getting people to respond to your marketing emails, definitely reach out to me. But don't ask me how to organize your personal inbox. Nope.
Yeah. So let's transition to this question, which I think is perfectly kind of on the flip side of things, you know? If a collaboration starts feeling messy, behind schedule, or unbalanced, what's the best way to get it back on track? And I would just add, like, what do you do when oh my gosh, I'm so behind? Like, this session is due tomorrow, or I should have sent those emails a week ago. How do y'all handle that?
I'm not backtracking. So like if I needed to send that a week ago and it didn't get sent a week ago, I'm not sending it. Like I'm not gonna, if I realize I'm in trouble and we haven't done everything right and things are crazy, I'm starting with where I am and creating the timeline from there. I can't worry about the things that didn't happen because they already didn't happen. And so we have to just move forward. So I kind of recreate my timeline moving forward. What can I do today? What does it look like next week? Those things moving forward. Instead of trying to do everything, it's like, okay, well, I have 4 weeks left or 3 weeks left or whatever it is. What can I do with this?
Yeah. Plus?
I would just add a kind of same approach, right? If I've missed it, I've missed it. But anything that doesn't go wrong or any kind of hiccup I run into, I make a note of it so that I can plan out better or anticipate for it next time or create better. A lot of times I need to create better speaker informations where I mentioned this or I mentioned that. I'm like, you know what? No background music. I need to make a note of that because that was super annoying to have to deal with, you know, whatever the case may be. So anything that's like caused me some friction or that I missed, I make a note and so that I can kind of figure out a way to automate it next time is probably what I'll do.
Yeah. Rachel, what do you do if things are like, ah?
I have a part-time career, so I kind of freak out about deadlines. So I won't do something unless I know for sure I can get it done way ahead of time. Like I was just in a summit a couple months ago, and I think I was the first one by a month that had their presentation done, just because I don't want to be that person that's way behind. But with that said, I focused in on a project yesterday and forgot to send an email. So just send it today. And then, yeah, just make a note of it.
Yeah. Like sometimes I was wondering, like for myself, based on what you said, Kara, about like the past is the past. I think sometimes I'm more like Rachel where I'm just going to send it now. Like it's not the ideal time. Like, sure, I should have been promoting this thing 3 weeks ago, but hey, we're here now. It's just going out now. And like whether or not that's when I'm supposed to send emails or not, I think I'm just like, for this one brand of mine, I'm like, whenever I feel like sending the email, that's when I'm going to send the email, or it's just like never going to be sent because I'm realizing myself is like not sticking to the schedule. So right now the schedule is not to have a schedule. So yeah, like I just hits just do the best you can, because at the end of the day, that's literally all we're doing is like we are just duct taping and like fueled by coffee and just trying to do the best we can. And I think, most of us don't have like a huge team. Like maybe some of us have gotten to the point where we got like the AI's bots on our side, but it's okay if you're not there yet, yeah, I think, based on all of what everyone is saying, it's like just use the tech that you have. You can, like, if your tech is a literal notebook, because y'all, this is my go-to. Something just, it feels so right to just like cross things out. And I just can't get that feeling with technology. And that's my system. And like, I wake up, I write down the few things I'm going to do, I do them, and that's it. So just do you. And Anna, you want to say something?
I do, because I also want to say that we're forgetting that we're all humans and we can just communicate to each other. So it's something like I've was in a bundle, I think, like that was supposed to have already happened, but the host had some life problems or health issues, and they just reached out and said, hey, here's what's going on, here's why I haven't been in touch. And it was totally fine. Like it was, nobody that I'm aware of was upset, that deadlines moved back or moved back. In fact, I was actually relieved that the deadline has moved back because I wasn't sure what was going on. So yeah, I feel like even if you're a host or a participant, if something went wrong, you dropped the ball, I feel just reaching out to the other person and saying, hey, this is what happened. This is, what my plan is to go forward. Is that okay? Is that not okay? What can we do from there? I think that's one of the most underrated strategies. Like it's not even like a strategy, but it's this underrated thing that we don't like think about sometimes. But like that's what I always fall back on, is to just communicate.
Yeah, let people know what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like, yeah, agree with you. Communication is huge. What's not good is just ghosting people and leaving people to wonder, like, what's going on? Like, hi, I don't have your stuff. Like, just don't leave people hanging. I think it doesn't matter, like, what the situation is, whether you're a host, whether you're a participant. Like, if you need more time, just ask for more time. If you're unclear about something, ask for clarity. I think it's okay to ask questions, to update people, and to be real as hell about, like, what's going on. And yeah, like I think we're all just humans trying to make it through, and collaboration is about us doing this together. So we can't have collaboration without communication. It just doesn't work at all.
Someone throw that on a sticker.
It just doesn't work, Yeah. I also love this question. How do you keep everyone on track when there are deadlines, deliverables, and multiple people involved? When there's so many cooks in the kitchen? And yeah, we have talked about a few things, right? Like the email reminders. Liz is a pro at using her Airtable to automate the reminders for everyone who hasn't submitted materials. Like for me, I'm all about just the communication. And like right now, the bundle, when we're recording this, the bundle has wrapped and I want the data. So I'm going to keep following up in different ways. So, like the first 2 times it was a email blast to all the contributors. My next move is going to be a solo email to everyone where I'm like, hey, I saw you got this many clicks. How many signups did you get? Just hit reply. Thank you. Love ya. That's going to be my next one. Yeah. And I think it's just going to be like the communication, providing all the details, all the deadlines. I love, like, my thing for if you're in anything with me, the bottom of the email, you are going to have the timeline. this is happening this day. This is happening this day. You are here. And I just think like reminding people next time I'm going to make it a calendar they can subscribe to.
I think on top of the, like, these are the dates, which I think is always great. And I add those too. And I think I kind of picked that up from you, was I've started adding, here's everything you've submitted. So I'm not getting what link did I submit or what did I say was my CTA? I either like literally have it all spelled out there, or I have a link where they can view everything they've submitted so that, they don't have to go digging for the copy. Or for a while, I was like, you received a copy of your application. Here's a subject line. Like, you can find it that way, but I've then upgraded since to be like, here's everything you've submitted, so that you're not asking me questions about it, because that's just a waste of both of our time.
Yeah.
I think that's super smart. I love bundles where they can show me what I've done because I'm busy and forgetful. And so if I don't want to have to ask them. So if I can just click in and know what it is. And then your timeline at the bottom of your emails where you're like crossed out what we've done and you're like, you guys are here. Thank you. Thank you. Because we know what's happening next. And so that communication, being able to click into things and know where I'm at, or if things worked and check my link, all of that is so good to help keep everybody on track. Like, just having your own crap together so you don't have to answer all of the questions and people can find it for themselves, I think is really important.
Yeah, and I would just say, like, don't hide the link. Like, I was recently in something, and it's like, they're like, submit your thing. And I'm like, where? Like, I shouldn't have to scroll through a whole group to find a Google Doc, to then scroll to the bottom of that Google Doc to find a link to the link. Like, I'm like, just make it a button. Like, put it in my front of my face. Like, I think we can make it super hard on people and hard on ourselves. Am I the only one that happens to? Or I'm like, where is the link?
Definitely not the only one. And I've been seeing a trend where bundle hosts have like a hub for the bundle or the summit that has like all of the information. And bless you, all of you Airtable savvy people, because the ones that use Airtable, you can literally just select your name from a drop down, and then all of the information that you've submitted, all of your links, like all of your affiliate links just show up in like a little filtered view for you. I don't know how to set that up because I don't know how to use Airtable, but if you guys know how to use Airtable, I know it's possible in that. And that's just such a big help for me as a participant, because even though I do have my own Notion page for every event I participate in, sometimes I forget to paste the information, or I'm like, oh, I'll paste it later. And you know how that goes. Later never happens and I forget about it. So having that hub link and I can just look up all my stuff. Oh, that's great. That's the best.
It's also why I so appreciate if they send me a copy of my application. Like, it's such a simple thing to set up on the back end when you're the host. But as a contributor myself to stuff, like, it's so helpful. Because sometimes I do, I get distracted and I forgot to make note of everything I put in. So helpful.
Yes, absolutely. I know that you do that, Liz, and I always appreciate that about your events.
Yeah, love that. Just give the people the information. You keep a copy of your information. I think information, communication, clarity, these are the things that are going to help any collaboration run smoothly. I love this question that was submitted. How do you reuse and repurpose collaboration content so you're not reinventing the wheel every time you're featured somewhere? Anyone have any good tips on this?
I absolutely do. I reuse my stuff everywhere. So the most obvious one to reuse is your bio, your links, all of these things. I used to type my name and my email address and my website link, and I don't do that anymore after I made a mistake in my own name one time by a typo. So I now have everything on a card that's linked everywhere that I can just copy and paste. I copy paste my name, copy paste my email address. That way I know there's almost no chance of typos or mistakes. And but yeah, I just keep track of everything like that, and I make sure that I have a reusable place. For my bio, I have a main bio, and then I have a part of the bio that I change depending on the event. So that's also really helpful because I don't have to think about what I want to say about myself from scratch every single time. And finally, the thing that I reuse the most is my promotion email templates. So, of course, every event is different. There's a different topic. There's a different focus. Maybe your submission is different. But the structure of how I talk, like how I introduce the promotion, how I introduce my specific product is almost always the same. So I use those as templates and I store them. And then when I'm going to write my emails, I'm never writing them from scratch. That's something that I teach for all kinds of emails, is that you should never be starting from scratch. You should always start from something that you've already written. And if you are using AI tools, then that makes it even simpler because you can have a file with all of your summit and bundle promotion emails and have AI write new emails using your existing material already. That sounds like you, that you don't have to edit a bunch of times and tweak until it doesn't sound like ChatGPT or whatever. And I feel like that's just the biggest chance for reusing your own material, is by just keeping it all in one place that you can access later.
Hold up. Sorry for the interruption, but I really wanted to tell you about my collab pitch generator. It's helping creators just like you skip that awkward, staring at a blank page, not knowing what to write phase, and get straight to the crafting personalized, ready-to-send pitches in minutes. It's available at heyletscollab.com for $27. Link in the show notes if you're ready to finally hit send on your pitches. I have a Google Doc that I have my bio, the variations of the bio. I have all of the descriptions for the common gifts that I give away for each brand. So because I feel like for me on the forms, that's the always thing that trips me up. I'm like, what's the description for this thing again? Like, I know the name, and I'm like, I don't want to write a new description. So I just keep that stuff easily on hand. Photos, graphics, all of that. Rachel, what about you? Because you are ahead of time, always getting things done early. So for the procrastinators in the room, help us.
And you guys mentioned quite a bit, especially that headshot. I have my headshot on my desktop too, so you're not like trying to search through all your files and stuff. Another thing is a lot of people talk about landing pages, and I used to use like kit landing pages, but I actually found just using my sales page, I use Zilvi for it. Using my sales page and having a coupon embedded is so much faster. So I just use my sales page that's already pretty.
Yeah. What was the tool you said you used for sales pages?
I use Zilvi. I wanted a Thrive cart, but it didn't really work out.
Okay. Yeah.
Zilvi was on an AppSumo or something, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was on
Sounds familiar.
AppSumo,
Yeah.
and it still has a lifetime deal, so I like the lifetime tech.
Yeah. Don't we?
Yes.
As
long as they keep lifing.
Oh, sorry.
I was just saying as long as they keep lifing. But carry on.
I've gone overboard. I hate filling out those applications to join a summit or anything like that. And so if there's any new question ever, I have a spreadsheet for every question I've ever been asked for any summit with the answer so I can copy and paste it in, because I hate it and it's such like a time suck. And then I only have 6 things that I give away in bundles and summits, and I just rotate through them so they're far enough apart. The one I did for this one is my Market Like You Matter course. And over the last like 2 years, I think we've brought in over 1,000 subscribers just from that one thing. And I literally have nothing to do at this point. I just copy and paste in the information about Market Like You Matter and send it in, and it's 100% ready to go every time.
Can I put you on the spot?
Yes.
How many signups have you gotten from?
I know that I have not told you that yet because I'm not sure off the top of my head because it mixed with another bundle. But I think it's about 350-ish. I think that's
Okay.
about where it is, but I did not
Are you
get
happy?
the exact number. What's that?
Are you happy you became a sponsor? Awesome.
Yeah, no,
Tell me about that.
I think that's great. That's 30% almost from the total signups, right? You said you had about 1,000 signups. Is that right?
Oh no, I meant for the event it was 2,400. But I think your link got over 1,000 clicks.
Okay. See, so then I'd have
As a
to do my
sponsor.
math. But if
You're fine.
and that's why I need to redo it, is because I'm not 100% sure what it is. That's almost 20%. That's 17%, which still is good. It's not amazing, but it's still good, especially in a bundle as big as this one. That's not bad at all.
We still got time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that. Like, I hate having to like redo anything. So if you are listening to this and you guys are like, how can I keep myself organized? Just have like a master doc of all the things. You know, when it comes to recycling training, for example, like I have two feelings about this. One, I recycle things all the time, but I try to make sure that if I'm recycling a training, that training isn't going to pop up in like 3 other summits in a short amount of time. Because I feel like, I don't know if what's up with the summit space lately, but I will go to a summit sign up page and like maybe I'm not in it, maybe I am, and I'm seeing a lot of the same faces and I'm seeing a lot of the exact same sessions. And that kind of irks me. Like I do think, yes, 100% we should be able to recycle and repurpose. But I do think like, especially when it comes to trainings, like maybe not every single summit should be the exact same one, because then what's the point? So yeah, thoughts on this, anyone?
So as a
yeah.
go for it.
ahead.
Anna.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Liz. I definitely think summits are different than bundles in that respect. I feel like bundles are kind of like more meaty resources that you have, so those take maybe a little bit more time to create, but summit presentations are only 20 minutes. And I've always gotten the best results from summits where I have tailored my presentation specifically to the focus of the summit. Which doesn't mean that I don't reuse my ideas, right? It's still my own work and everything, but it has a slightly different angle that I feel like I've gotten more responses and more engaged people on my session when I did take the extra time to, tweak a little bit what this slide says and to kind of record a new training versus just kind of reuse a previous one. So just wanted to mention that from the side of participating in bundles. I do know that a lot of bundles and summits lately have started putting in, this must not have appeared anywhere in the past 6 months, which I think is great because as somebody who also looks through bundles and summits as a participant, not necessarily if I'm contributing, I like to see fresh things from the people that I really like. And I try to give that same courtesy to my audience and other audiences from the people doing the collab event.
Yeah, sure.
So I was going to say, like, as a summit host, I absolutely want to see new sessions. And I think I've started putting in, like, you can't have taught this in the exact same thing a month ago. Like, that's not useful. As someone who also presents, I will say I have reused presentations. But so, for example, I spoke at AI Unlocked, which was Gemma Bonham Carter's, and AI Exposed, which was Monica Fro's. And I did the exact same topic, but because the AI changed so fast, the actual content ended up being different. So I've never just like recorded and then submitted that same recording for everything. I always end up recording fresh for the event. I might reuse slides. Chances are I'm going to change a few things up. It's never going to be exactly the same. I'm constantly learning. So if I learn a new tip, that's going to go in the newer session. But I ended up because my workflow had completely changed between the two, even though the topic was the same and I was essentially showing the same thing, I was showing it with like an extra like layer, keeping in mind of like data privacy with AI and how I did that. So, I'm not opposed if you're doing something like that. And I always say, like, if you have a question or you're not sure about something, just reach out to me and we can talk about it and I can help you figure out if it's going to be a fit. But I definitely will reuse things. And it depends too on if I have time to come up with something new, right? So it depends on what's already on my calendar. How short of notice is this? Is this a friend that just like needs another speaker and I'm helping them out? Okay, well, I'm probably gonna like go reuse something. I have lots of things I can reuse. It doesn't have to be what I did, but it kind of just depends, right? You got to have time if you're going to create something brand new. And so how far out is this person planning? I've been seeing people that are like, the summit's in 2 weeks. Do you want to participate? And I'm like, kudos to you. My anxiety cannot take that, but kudos to you. So yeah, I think it's, it's a fine line. It's a balance. And it kind of is it depends type of a thing. Never the exact same recording though.
Yeah, for sure.
So I actually do brand new summit presentations for every single summit, except I will check with the hosts and then I will repurpose them into mini courses. So then they become like a bite-sized course. So when I'm making the summit presentations, I think about how I'm going to make it into a course later and then add in bonuses and stuff into the course.
I love that. Thinking ahead. I will say that maybe for summits, let's not be recycling the exact same presentation, but there are different ways that you can reuse the same song and dance. So for example, I have a masterclass that I pretty much have memorized from start to finish because I have hosted it so many times. But here's the thing, I'm doing it for different audiences and typically only once a year. Sometimes it's longer than a year. Liz knows this. We've done my song and dance for your audience, I think 3 times now. And of course, within that year, it is updated. So it's never the exact same webinar or masterclass, but you can take your show on the road and bring it to different audiences. I think the same can be said in many ways for podcasting. A lot of the times you have the same talking points, you've got the same message and you're just bringing it to different audiences. You can do that in people's memberships, in people's communities. So I think there's definitely room for recycling. If we talk about email swaps, right? You have the one freebie, maybe a couple freebies, and you're just bringing it to new. Oh, you want this? Awesome. Oh, hey, I got you don't need to always redo. So I think it's good to also keep that in mind. I think we can maximize our energy by repurposing our message. Yeah. Anything to add, anyone?
It's kind of an exercise in creativity too. I like summits that have a unique angle because then that makes me think, okay, well, how can I adapt this thing that I always talk about? I talk about no newsletter, email marketing. How can I talk about that with an audience that's focused on collaborations? How can I talk about that with an audience that's focused on workflow, right? It's a different angle that keeps me thinking about what people need to hear and how they need to hear it. I feel like it makes me a better marketer thinking of all these different angles instead of just reusing the same thing to everyone.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And I mean, people have to hear things multiple times before it sinks in, right? So you repeating yourself, you got to do it.
I also think it's really easy to get stuck in a process of constantly recreating and starting from scratch and doing it again and again and again, trying to appeal to every different audience. But if you are standing really solidly in your brand and you know what you're selling, you really can attract the people in that audience who relate to what you're doing and who need what you have. And so I think it's important not to just be a record that just keeps going, but also it's super duper important to make sure you're not just starting over again and again and again, because so many entrepreneurs are just stuck because every time they get out there and start marketing, they're starting from ground zero every single time. And it's so hard to build a good audience. It's still hard to build your product and establish your brand when you're starting from ground zero every time. It's a great way to stay stuck. So that's a really basic thing to kind of just pay attention to.
Kara, can you tell us about you?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. My name is Kara Laws. I teach business foundations, how to make sure you have a really solid foundation for your business so that it can support you without making you completely crazy. I have started 7 businesses. I've sold 5 of those. I still run 2, and I've been a business owner for 20 something years. I've been teaching business education for 8. We have clients coast to coast and in 6 different countries, and we just help make sure you're building like a business and not like a product or a service or just starting over again and again. That's our goal.
Or a hobby
Yeah.
that doesn't make you money.
I want you to make money.
Love that. Love that. How do you set expectations so there are no surprises or disappointments later? And as someone who just hosted a bundle, was first time hosting this specific bundle, I definitely feel the pressure of this where I don't want anyone to be disappointed, and I'm going to do everything I can like to make sure that everyone like walks away with a win. So how do you all do that for your own collaborations? Whether we're talking about being the host or being the participant, you know, what's a way that you're making sure that everyone is winning? Yes.
So as a participant, I know my industry standards. So like sometimes you go in there and you're like, oh my gosh, 2,000 people signed up for this bundle. Why didn't I get 2,000 people signing up for my own email list? Except you have to know what the industry standard is for the conversion rate, right? So I told you earlier, that's like almost 20%. That's fine. That's like a really good average right there, especially for a bundle like the one we just did that has so many people in it. So if you know what the industry standard is for actually converting for whatever you're doing, that's going to help so much as a contributor, because then you can gauge, oh, I'm doing okay, or I'm doing really well. And sometimes what you think is a failure is actually really, really well statistically. You just didn't know the data.
I love that. Data. And I think a way that as the host of that bundle, I am going to do my best to communicate to everyone on average how everyone is doing, because we are all silos in a way. And it's like, if you're just looking at your number, like there's no like benchmark there. You don't know like where on the curve you are, and like also not knowing perhaps why you aren't getting the conversion or the outcome that you may have expected. And like, I think me being the host, I'm taking that responsibility to figuring out why, for example, someone isn't getting that outcome. But yeah, I love that you mentioned the benchmark. And I think that's important for everything. Like Anna, I'm sure you could speak on that about emails, because I think, you know, we can be like, oh my gosh, only 3% of the people open or clicked on my link in my emails. And we're like, that's the worst, right? Or, you know, like my sales page has a 4% conversion rate, or like, you know, it can feel so personal and like we suck at this. But then, you know, you Google and you see that like, heck, like on average people are doing, I don't know, like 1.5%, and it's just a numbers game. And I think when you realize it's just a numbers game, I think that makes me feel better. Liz?
I was just going to say, like, first of all, to make sure no one's surprised, communication. I think we've really driven that home, like communicate. And then another thing I like to do for my summits is at the end, I send out their data of like, your session got this many unique views or this many impressions. And I include what the average was across the entire summit. So they can see, you know, where they lined up. And I always get people being like, I've never had this sent to me. And I was like, it's not that hard. And I think it's just getting easier and easier as data makes it easier to compile data, or AI makes it easier to compile data. I can talk, I swear. It's Friday afternoon.
I love that advice. It's so good. I'm going to steal that from you, Liz. The averages of how things are going. I'm definitely going to send everyone. Yeah, like my leaderboard has a thing where it will compile for everybody, like both sides of it, how their promotion went and how the claiming is going, right? So I think there's like two sides of that. And just having that information visible. Like I had super fun creating a leaderboard, for example, that showed how things were going. Because yeah, I just personally don't always want to have to log into like Thrivecart to like see what's going on. Liz can go on about that, but yeah. Rachel, any thoughts on this? Expectations?
Okay, so for expectations as a bundle host, setting up expectations from the start, like on your form. One other thing that I found, I just hosted a bundle in May, and I had hosted about 5 bundles last year, and a lot of them were like seasonal bundles. So as long as you had something fall themed, you could be in. Whereas this one was like very focused on PLR, MRR, like party templates and stuff. And it was a lot easier to tell people like, hey, this does not apply. Can you please resubmit? Or I'm sorry, I can't include you. Whereas when it was like a vague topic, it was very difficult to tell people if it didn't apply. So be focused and be upfront.
Yeah, 100%. Like tell them. I think, yeah, like I for myself, I'm always like, hey y'all, just a reminder, this is what you agreed to. One solo, one this, one that. Like I think even just reminding people, because hey, we're humans, we forget, we don't all put all this stuff in our calendar or have AI making daily briefs for us, right? Like we need to be reminded. And I think there's nothing wrong with reminding people. Hopefully not, because I do a lot of that. And yeah, I just agree. Communications, being clear from day 1, day 0, right? Like this is the application form. I think if anyone's sending pitches, be clear in that email what the big expectations are in terms of promotion, in terms of deliverables, in terms of dates. I shouldn't have to hit reply and say, hey, when is this? You know, I think just have the information in there, right? And have it everywhere. So it's not like, you know, at the bottom of a Facebook group, in a Google Doc, at the bottom of a Google Doc, at another link. Nobody wants to go on a scavenger hunt for clarity. It's unnecessary. We're all busy, right?
Give me my link too, which you do this really well, Natalie. I think everyone here does, but I'm in something where I had to go hunt for it, and I was like, especially because it was in the only place it was in Thrivecart, and I was like, I gotta go find you on the page, which means finding you on page 6, and then I have to go hunt through your products. Which, okay, at least you gave me that I can, you know, control F on once I find your products page. But I was like, ugh, like I can't stand it.
Yeah, I think just giving people the link. And for anyone who's listening and is like all about summits, for example, I'm kind of like pro no login pages. And that's just me. I'm like, if I'm hosting something, I don't want someone to have to log in. I don't want someone to have to like use a password. Like this is just the link. The video is just going to be there. The contributors CTA is just going to be there. I'm not going to sneakily not use it and instead include my affiliate link because, hey, I've had that happen at summits where my link is not there and they have inserted, you know, a link to something else. So I think just being clear, least amount of clicks possible, I think is also some good advice. Rachel, can you tell us a little bit about you? You said you ran 5 bundles last year on various topics. Introduce yourself. Well, outro yourself at this point.
Okay, so I feel like I might be the odd one out here. I kind of took a really long time to figure out what I wanted to do. So I started like with principles and then got into business courses and stuff. But now I'm a PL art creator. And I mostly do like mini books, party principles, templates and stuff. And then some games and some fun different templates that you might not see anywhere else.
I love that. We are a great bunch. So I hope everyone who has been listening has learned about communication, organization. I like to end these panels if we could just quickly go around and maybe just a couple words of advice to someone who's, thinking about doing collaboration and maybe just needs that little bit of encouragement. It could be your party line. No worries with that. But any advice? Final words?
I guess I'll go first. I have a lot of people in my audience who have maybe tried collaborations before and they have just kind of, swung and missed, or it didn't go well, or they didn't have a great experience. And it's just kind of, when I talk to them about it, they're like, well, I tried that and it doesn't work. And it's like, well, maybe it worked 2 years ago, but it doesn't work now. But I think the fact that this podcast exists, that everybody is still continuing to run bundles and run summits, I think my biggest advice is, if you had a not so great experience, that it is really a numbers game, that you can find people who you really vibe with. You can find events that really fit your niche and what your products are, what your expertise is. You just have to keep trying and look for it. I don't think that you need to just rule them out as something that doesn't work, because clearly it does. You just have to find the one that's right for you.
Yeah, I love that.
I can go next. So I'd say make a plan if you want to do a collaboration, but also set a deadline, because you can plan until the cows come home, but you will learn so much more when you're actually in it, and making those notes of like, oh, I wish I would have done this, so that next time goes smoother. And the other thing I would say is, if, it's not working out for you, one of the best little business pieces of advice I ever heard was, don't write something off till you've tried it 3 times. Right? Tried launching it 3 times, or tried participating in 3 times, right? Like, I've hosted a lot of events, but I've also been in a lot of events. And there are some that I will never go back to for various reasons, right? I've had bad experiences. That's just life. You're going to have some good ones. You're going to have some bad ones. I'd say the vast majority have been good. I've primarily grown my business through collaborations. I don't tend to run ads. And so it can be a great way to grow. And I think it's just, especially in this online space, so nice to have that community of people that that you meet. Like Natalie and I don't even know how many times we've collaborated, between you being in my summits, me being in your summits, you teaching your class. Like, it's just nice to like connect with people that get it. And so that alone, I think, is worth giving it another go if you're having trouble.
Yeah, I love that.
My parting thoughts are going to be that it doesn't matter what you know, it matters what you do. And so you can keep learning this again and again and again and get stuck in this learning loop forever, but you're going to learn the most when you implement it. And you probably know more than you think that you know. And endlessly learning isn't actually going to get you where you need to go. You need to start implementing. So start moving forward, start doing it. It's going to be messy the first time and the second time and the third time, and it's going to get better. And you're going to learn something every time you do it. But if you just continue to learn and not implement, it doesn't really matter. So you got to do it.
Great advice.
Hey, just show up. Keep trying, keep track of the bundles that do well, but really show up, because then people will start to recognize you. They'll start to recognize your products, your brand, and you might also get like other contributors and hosts and stuff that want to do other collaborations, and even like sharing affiliate links and stuff. So show up.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Anna Crosby, Rachel Mohl, Liz Stapleton, and Kara Laws. Thank you. Thank you so much for showing up, for saying yes. Not only saying yes to the bundle, but saying yes to this podcast recording. I know I've gotten so much value out of it. I am going to definitely review the show notes and be like, okay, this is how I can do even better. And if you are listening to this and you are like, okay, I think I'm ready, I feel ready, you are ready, all right? And be sure to hit that subscribe button, because collaborations are live and well. Moo, moo, moo. It's time. The cows are mooing, or the calling home, or whatever it is you said, Liz. And yeah, I just hope that this will be a resource that can help you to not only take action, but to get that growth in your audience, in your business, in your bottom line that you're looking forward to. So yeah, hit subscribe. And if you want to connect with any of our incredible panelists, their links are going to be where the links are. I think that's show notes or the blog post that will go along with this. So thank you so much for tuning in. See y'all in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in to Hey Let's Collab. If you're looking to kickstart your collaboration game and land that dream partnership, check out heyletscollab.com and download the free collab scripts to get started.